I've saved thousands of hearts in my career as a cardiothoracic surgeon, but I couldn't save my own. The day I found my husband with his mistress in our bedroom, I realized it was time for the most difficult operation of my life. Pulling my Mercedes GLE into the driveway of our townhouse in Boston's upscale Back Bay, I glanced at my watch, 4:30 p.m. Unusually early for the head of the cardiothoracic surgery department at Massachusetts General Hospital to leave work before 6, but today's surgeries wrapped up ahead of schedule, and I had a critical presentation tomorrow on a proposal for new equipment. My name is Nicole Wright, and for the past 8 years, I've led one of the top cardiothoracic surgery departments on the East Coast. Climbing the steps to our front door, I thought about how surprised Michael would be. My husband typically didn't get home until 7, claiming his medical device company demanded his constant attention. The same company he founded 15 years ago with the $2 million inheritance I brought into our marriage. When I reached for my keys, I was startled to find the door unlocked. Odd. Michael was meticulous about security, especially in our affluent neighborhood. In the foyer, I spotted a pair of unfamiliar women's shoes, red Louboutins, unmistakable by their signature soles. The air carried a cloying, sweet scent of Tom Ford perfume. My heart quickened. I recognized that fragrance. A week ago, I'd smelled it on Michael's shirt, and he'd brushed it off, saying he'd been celebrating a big contract with colleagues at Bistro du Midi. Muffled sounds and soft laughter drifted from our second-floor bedroom. I slipped off my comfortable Dansko clogs and padded silently up the carpeted staircase. Custom restoration hardware, chosen together last fall. The bedroom door was ajar, and what I saw froze me in place. On our $5,000 Tempur-Pedic king-size bed from Bloomingdale's, Michael was with a woman. Young, slender, with cascading dark hair. She was on my side of the bed, sprawled across my favorite Egyptian cotton sheets. They were so engrossed they didn't notice me. One thought pounded in my head. 15 years. 15 years of marriage. Memories flashed. Endless attempts to conceive, 4 grueling IVF cycles at Boston's best clinics, each costing $20,000, months of hope and crushing disappointment. Thanksgivings in Cape Cod, Christmases in Vermont, plans for the future. My $2 million poured into his startup. Michael turned his head and froze, his tanned face draining to the color of the sheets. "Nicole, God, this isn't what you think." My lips curled into a strange smile. My voice came out unnaturally calm. "Hi, honey. Carry on. Don't mind me. I'll go start dinner. How about those Wagyu steaks you brought back from your business trip to Chicago last week?" I turned and descended to the first floor, leaving them stunned. In the kitchen, I methodically washed my hands and fired up my beloved $3,000 meal coffee machine, my Christmas gift to myself. Strangely, my hands didn't shake. Years of surgical practice, I suppose. Emotions switch off in a crisis, leaving only cold precision. Opening my MacBook Pro, I pulled up the contact for my lawyer, James Holden, from the prestigious Holden & Partners. As I typed a message, hurried footsteps echoed upstairs, followed by the slam of the front door. Moments later, Michael appeared in the kitchen, hair disheveled, Ralph Lauren shirt hastily tucked in. "Nicole, we need to talk." "Of course, darling. Coffee?" "I was about to brew your favorite Jamaica Blue Mountain, like I have every morning for the last 15 years. To hell with coffee, Nicole. Listen, it was a mistake." "A mistake?" I raised an eyebrow, eyeing his rumpled $500 Hermes tie. "You accidentally ended up in our bedroom with Ashley? Ashley Morrison, the PR director you hired 6 months ago? The one you kept raving about?" Ashley's so talented. Ashley's killing it. Ashley landed new investors. Michael swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing. God, Nicole, I know how it looks, but... How it looks. My voice stayed eerily calm. It looks like a textbook affair in our bedroom. On the bed where we made love countless times. Where I cried after every failed IVF. Where you swore you'd love only me. He sank onto a designer stool at the kitchen island and reached for my hand. It meant nothing, I swear. You know I love only you. We've been together so long. Remember our wedding at the plaza? Our honeymoon in the Maldives? I yanked my hand back like it burned. You know what surprises me most, Michael? Not that you're cheating. It's that you think I'm so naive I'd buy your mistake. I've seen the corporate card statements, dinners at Per Se, suites at the Four Seasons. Did you really think I wouldn't notice? A notification pinged from James. He could meet me at 9 a.m. tomorrow. What are you doing? Michael's eyes flicked to the MacBook screen. Why do you need James Holden? Oh, just consulting on some financial matters. By the way, how's our charitable foundation doing? The one you've been funneling questionable transactions through for the past 6 months? His face went even paler. How do you... I may be a sentimental fool who believed in true love, but I'm still a damn good surgeon with an analytical mind. Now excuse me, I need to review materials for tomorrow's board presentation. The next day, I performed a complex heart transplant on 6-year-old Jacob Peterson. 4 hours in the OR flew by like a minute. My hands were steady as ever, professionalism above all. As I left the operating room, nurses whispered, "Did you hear? Dr. Wright's divorcing her husband. They say he cheated with some young thing." God, after all those years. I pretended not to hear. This is Boston. Gossip spreads faster than the flu in winter. At 1 p.m., the hospital's chief of staff, Dr. Robert Anderson, called me into his office. Nicole, have a seat. Coffee? No thanks, Bob. Something wrong? He leaned back in his leather chair, studying me. I have a proposal. The FDA is launching a new National Center for Cardiothoracic Surgery in Cleveland. They need a chief surgeon. I recommended you. My heart skipped a beat. Bob, that's a massive opportunity. A $500 million annual budget. Full control over staff and equipment. And yes, a salary triple your current one. But why me? Because you're the best. A 98% success rate over the last 5 years. 3 international awards, innovative techniques for congenital heart defects, and, he paused, because sometimes life gives us a chance to start over when we need it most. That evening, I met James Holden at the Four Seasons. He sipped single malt whiskey while reviewing the documents I'd brought. So, the company was founded with your $2 million inheritance? Yes, Michael said it was our shared dream to build a company making affordable medical devices. And now? Now it's worth about $20 million. But something's been off the last 6 months. Michael bought a Porsche Cayenne, a Patek Philippe watch, and yesterday I found a Tiffany receipt for a $300,000 sapphire necklace. Let me guess. He didn't buy you gifts like that? I gave a bitter smile. In 15 years, the priciest gift was a pair of Pandora earrings. James frowned. Nicole, I'm afraid your husband's preparing for a divorce, and these documents suggest he's already moving company assets to offshore accounts. When I got home, Michael was waiting with a bouquet of Winston Flowers roses and a guilty smile. Nicole, sweetheart, I've realized everything. It was a terrible mistake. I've ended things with Ashley, I swear. You fired her? I calmly hung my Burberry coat in the closet. No, but She knows it's over. I see. I walked to the kitchen and started pulling ingredients from the Sub-Zero fridge. I was thinking, let's host a dinner this Saturday. Michael froze, holding a glass of Opus 1. A dinner? Yes, a family dinner. We'll invite your mom, Elizabeth, my brother Chris and Jennifer, our friends, Steve and Sarah Anderson, John and Mary Parker. Oh, and Ashley, too. What? Nicole, have you lost it? Quite the opposite, darling. I'm thinking crystal clear. Time for some honesty. Or are you scared? Fear flickered in his eyes. What are you up to? You'll see. Oh, and I'll make your favorite, filet mignon with truffle sauce. On Saturday, our townhouse gleamed. I set the table with antique Wedgwood china we'd bought at an auction for our 10th anniversary. The kitchen smelled of rosemary and thyme-infused beef. Elizabeth arrived first, impeccable in Carolina Herrera. Nicole, you look stunning. Is that a new Oscar de la Renta dress? Yes, a little treat to myself. I hugged her. Tonight's going to be special. What's going on, dear? Michael's been off lately. You'll find out soon, Mom. Guests trickled in. Chris and Jennifer brought a 1982 Chateau Margaux. Our friends arrived with a dessert from L.A. Burdick. Finally, Ashley showed up. Young, beautiful, in a Valentino dress, visibly nervous. I approached her while Michael fussed at the bar. Ashley, thanks for coming. Mrs. Wright, I don't understand why you invited me. To talk openly? Nice necklace, by the way. Tiffany sapphires. When everyone was seated, I stood with a glass of wine. Dear friends and family, thank you for being here. I have some important news. Michael fidgeted with a $200 fret napkin. Ashley stared at her Wedgwood plate. First, I've been offered the role of chief surgeon at the new National Center for Cardiothoracic Surgery in Cleveland. Congratulations, Sarah Anderson exclaimed. That's incredible. Nicole, darling, what about your work here? Elizabeth asked, concerned. Oh, that's just the first piece of news. The second is about Michael's company, or rather, our company, founded with my money. I pulled out a folder. Guess what I found? Nicole, don't, Michael whispered. Why not? Let's talk about how, over the last 6 months, nearly $3 million was siphoned through the company's charitable fund to offshore accounts, and how my husband spent corporate money on lavish gifts for his mistress. I turned to Ashley. How's that $300,000 sapphire necklace? Worth it? The room went dead silent. Elizabeth paled. Chris clenched his fists. My God, Michael, his mother whispered. Tell me it's not true. Mom, I can explain. The truth, I continued, pouring wine, is that while I was saving children's lives in the OR, my husband was not only cheating with a woman half my age, but also planning a divorce and hiding assets. John Parker, our longtime friend and financial advisor, shook his head. Michael, how could you? After everything Nicole's done for you. And here's the kicker, I smiled. While Michael thought he was the clever one, I wasn't idle either. James, come in. My lawyer, James Holden, entered with 2 SEC agents. Mr. Wright, one said, we'd like to discuss some financial transactions at your company. Michael jumped up, knocking over his wine glass onto the tablecloth. You reported me? No, darling. I just provided authorities with information about potential financial violations. They'll find the rest. You planned this? Michael stared, a mix of horror and awe in his eyes. For 15 years, I was the perfect wife. I supported you, believed in you, Invested not just money, but my soul. And you. My voice broke for the first time that night. You can't imagine how much it hurts to betray someone who gave you everything. Ashley burst into tears. Michael, you said you'd divorce her, that we'd be together, that the company was almost yours. Elizabeth stood abruptly. Be quiet, girl. My son. My only son. How could you sink so low? Mom, listen. No, you listen. Elizabeth's eyes blazed. I didn't raise you like this. Your father would roll in his grave knowing what you've done to the woman who loved you more than life. Chris, silent until now, spoke up. You know, Michael, I always saw you as a brother. Even when you refused to help with Mom's treatment, saying all your money was tied up in the company, I thought you were just passionate about the business. But turns out... What treatment? I asked, my stomach dropping. 3 months ago, I asked him for $50,000 for Mom's experimental therapy. He said the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. When you bought Ashley a $300,000 necklace. I turned to Michael. God, you're not even human. Sarah, our psychologist friend, tried to diffuse. Maybe we should... No, Sarah, I cut in. Let everyone hear the truth. How the man I trusted implicitly not only betrayed me, but refused to help my dying mother for his mistress. The SEC agents scribbled in their notebooks. James pulled out another folder. By the way, Mr. Wright, we have interesting data on your Cayman Islands transactions and undeclared Swiss bank accounts. Michael paled further. This is slander. You have no proof. Oh, there's plenty. James smiled. Your wife's not just a brilliant surgeon, but a damn good investigator. Fun fact about email, it's still there even after you delete it. Show them, James. I nodded. Show everyone Michael's emails with his lawyer about hiding assets before the divorce, especially the one discussing how to cut me out of the company. Michael lunged for the door, but an SEC agent blocked him. Mr. Wright, please stay. We have more questions. And call your lawyer. Nicole, you don't understand. His voice shook. I'll fix this. I'll return the money. It's not about the money, Michael. I slipped off my Cartier wedding ring. It's about trust, respect, love. Every time I operated on a child with a heart defect, I thought of our unborn child, those 4 failed IVF attempts. You promising we'd get through it together? Ashley paled. Michael, you didn't tell me. What did he tell you, sweetheart? I turned to her. That his wife's a cold careerist who didn't want kids? That he's miserable in our marriage? That you're his one true love? Yes, exactly that, Ashley cried. And about the baby. Michael, you said I was pregnant with your child. Silence fell. Elizabeth clutched her chest. Oh, more surprises? I poured myself a whiskey. How long? 3 months? Ashley whispered. Funny. Right when you told my brother there was no money for Mom's treatment. Planning for new expenses? John stood. Michael, I'm resigning from the board effective immediately, and I'm sure other investors will follow once they know the truth. You can't! The company will collapse! Michael shouted. The company. I gave a bitter laugh. It collapsed the moment you thought you could fool everyone. Oh, James, show them the final document. James produced papers. Per the company charter, Mrs. Wright, as the primary investor, has veto power over major transactions and the authority to remove the CEO with evidence of financial misconduct. What? Michael blanched. But I rewrote the charter. You tried, but your lawyer wasn't as clever as you thought. Forging documents is another crime, by the way. So, I stood. The board meets tomorrow at 9 a.m. By then, all evidence of financial misconduct will be with the SEC, FBU, and IRS. And now, I turned to the guests. I'm sorry for ruining dinner. The filet mignon's cold, but the wine's still excellent. Elizabeth hugged me tightly. Nicole, I'm so ashamed of my son. Don't be, Mom. You're not to blame. Michael, dazed, lunged toward Ashley. Sweetheart, we'll leave. I have money in Switzerland. We'll start over. Ashley recoiled. Don't touch me. You're a monster. You used everyone. Your wife, your mother, even me. And you know what's funniest, Michael? I sipped my whiskey. I am going to Cleveland to lead the news center with a $500 million budget. And I've already found investors for a new medical device company. Turns out, people still believe in honesty and professionalism. Chris stepped toward Michael. Listen carefully. Tomorrow, you're transferring $50,000 for Mom's treatment. Non-negotiable. I don't have that kind of money, Michael wailed. Oh, you do, James interjected. Your personal Bank of America account had $342,000 yesterday. We checked. Michael's phone rang. He answered mechanically. Yes? What? How are my accounts frozen? Standard procedure for suspected financial crimes, an SEC agent explained. Mr. Wright, come with us and call your lawyer. I watched as the agents led Michael away. Ashley sobbed on Sarah's shoulder. Elizabeth wept silently, watching her son go. You know, John said to me, you could have just divorced him. I could have, I nodded. But then he'd keep deceiving others, using people, betraying those who trust him. Sometimes a surgeon has to make a deep cut to cure the disease. A month later, I moved to Cleveland. Michael got 5 years for financial fraud. Ashley had a daughter and married a good man. And I finally felt free. Every morning, stepping into my new center's OR, I recall my mother's words. A heart can break, but if it's strong, it will heal stronger. She was right. As always, did you like the story? Write your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next interesting story. See you tomorrow.